Before this story begins, you need to understand something. This playground isn't haunted because the dead refuse to leave. It's haunted because the children buried beside it don't know they died. And every night, they wake up looking for someone to play with.
In a small, forgotten town, one the maps stopped showing decades ago, there lies a playground that parents warned their children never to visit. It sits quietly beside an old cemetery, its iron fence half sunk into the ground, crooked and cold like a row of broken teeth. Locals say the playground wasn't always this way. Once it was full of life, bright colors, laughter, and the simple joy of childhood. But something changed. Something woke up. The story begins with a tragedy most residents refuse to speak about. The cemetery beside the playground was once much smaller. Over the years, storms, landslides, and poor maintenance caused several graves to shift, some even collapsing. Bones surfaced, unmarked gravestones were lost. The line between the playground and the dead slowly faded. Over time, the children who played there began telling their parents unsettling things. "Mom, my swing moved even when I stopped pushing. Dad, I heard kids playing behind the fence, but no one was there." Parents brushed it off as imagination until the night everything changed. It was a foggy evening when a young boy named Lucas wandered into the playground alone. He'd followed the bouncing of a bright red ball, one that rolled perfectly straight as if guided by an invisible hand. When the boy reached the swings, he froze. One swing was moving. Not gently, not swaying in the wind, but pumping like someone unseen was swinging with full force. The chain screeched and groaned, twisting and pulling so violently the metal poles shook. Lucas turned to run, but the red ball rolled back towards him, stopping at his feet as if insisting he pick it up. The boy would later describe hearing something in the fog behind him, breathing. When Lucas finally escaped and ran home crying, the sheriff investigated the next morning. What he found disturbed him. The swing chains had deep indentations, shaped almost like small hands, tiny fingers gripping the metal so tightly they left marks. The sheriff closed the playground, but closing something doesn't stop what already lives inside it. Years passed, and the playground decayed under rust, mold, and silence. The cemetery grew even larger, spreading behind it like a dark shadow swallowing the earth. The town tried to ignore it, pretend it didn't exist, but the playground refused to be forgotten. That's when the cameras came. Teens looking for thrills began sneaking in after midnight with phones, flashlights, and the stupid confidence only teenagers possess. And every time, whether they admit it or not, something happened. One night, two friends recorded a video still whispered about today. They were standing near the slide when the seesaw behind them slowly lifted, slowly, until it pointed skyward. No wind, nobody touching it. Then it slammed down so violently the ground shook. The girls screamed and ran, but the recording continued, revealing something none of them saw in the moment. A doll. A small, cracked doll sitting at the top of the slide. It wasn't there when they arrived. It wasn't there when they ran. But the recording showed its head, slowly turning to follow them. After that night, the playground gained a reputation far beyond the town. Paranormal investigators came, ghost hunters, even skeptics who laughed at the legends. None stayed long. One investigator spent exactly 8 minutes inside before running out pale and breathless. When asked what he saw, he simply whispered, "They're still playing." He described toys moving on their own, tiny cars circling the sandbox in perfect patterns, jump ropes tightening around tree branches like nooses, and small footprints appearing in the dirt behind him, even though it hadn't rained in weeks. The most disturbing thing, he said, was the laughter. Not loud, not joyful, but soft, distant, broken, like the echo of something that used to be alive. Sound, faint children laughing. One voice whispers, "Come play." Witnesses report hearing voices near the cemetery fence. Little voices calling out, sometimes asking for help, other times asking for someone to stay. And the toys? They never rest. Walk into the playground at midnight and you'll see them shift, twitch, and tremble on their own. A teddy bear rolling over, a jump rope dragging itself across the sand, a swing gently turning toward you, even with the air completely still. People say the spirits of the forgotten children, those whose graves were lost to time and erosion, wander into the playground searching for a place to continue the lives they never finished. They don't know they're gone. They only know they want someone to play with. But there is one rule the townspeople know well. If a toy starts moving toward you, do not let it touch you. Those who do, don't come home the same. Some return pale and silent, unable to speak about what they saw. Others wake up at night hearing small footsteps running around their room, or feel something tugging at their blankets, or hear a child's voice whispering right beside their bed. "Come back to the playground. We've been waiting." So, if you ever find yourself driving through a forgotten town and you pass an old cemetery with a rusted playground beside it, don't stop, don't look, and above all, don't listen for the laughter. Because if you hear it, they already know you're there.
Scared? If you want more, please like, share, and subscribe. Just don't forget to hit the notification button to keep you updated.